What's going on, NBA fanatics? This is your friendly neighborhood Memphis Grizzlies homer, Memphis X, and I talk hoops. Today we are talking about a close loss to the Boston Celtics in FedEx Forum. But first, every hero needs their theme music.
Piano.
Grizz gang, go hard. Baddest in the game, we be on one. I talk hoops so secure. All up on the court, but we gon' score. Memphis bringing heat straight from Tennessee. Ja Morant spiking, let's go for he that MVP.
Last night, the Boston Celtics were what I would consider one of the measuring stick games for the Memphis Grizzlies this season. They're one of the elite teams that I want the Grizzlies to be on the same level as an NBA Finals level team. Of course, both teams were missing their defensive anchor, with the Boston Celtics missing Robert Williams and the Grizzlies missing Jaren Jackson. Unfortunately, for the rest of the matchup, the Grizzlies were also missing Steven Adams, who got an ankle twist the game before, and Zaire Williams, who has been out all season with patellar tendonitis. So the game wasn't a true level playing field, but the game was informative nonetheless. And I can tell you, even though the Grizzlies lost in a close game, I am more encouraged about the Grizzlies' playoff and finals future than ever before. The Boston Celtics I've always considered one of the Grizzlies' terrible matchups in the NBA, and it's basically because of what you saw last night, their ability to switch everything across the board and not get hurt. And what this does is they have a lot of guys that they can throw at Ja Morant and Desmond Bane. So without Jaren Jackson specifically and Steven Adams also, it puts a lot of stress and strain on Desmond Bane and Ja Morant to produce under heavy circumstances. And they did produce somewhat. Ja Morant had a slow start to the game, but he did end up with 30 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds, 2 steals, 4 turnovers. He didn't shoot particularly well, but he did shoot 12 three-pointers. And that's basically because of the switching defense kind of keeps him out of the lane a little bit. And he did go 5 of 12 from 3, which is pretty good. 10 to 24 overall from the field, 5 of 9 from the free throw line, which he needs to improve. So, the Grizzlies' off defense has been not stellar to start the season, and the Boston Celtics have the number one offense in the league. So them slowing down that number one offense in the second half was a good sign, especially without either one of their starting bigs. Desmond Bane also had a nice adjustment period to dealing with switching defense. And it's not just that Boston has a switching defense. Boston has a switching defense without opening up holes among their guard unit. So about all of their guards, their point guards, their combo guards, everything, they're about the same size as Desmond Bane. So no matter who switches onto him, it's either going to be somebody his size or somebody larger than him and able to track him through screens. So Desmond Bane was 7 of 15 from the field, only 2 of 6 from the three-point line, did continue his streak of multiple three-pointers with a late three-point shot in the game. 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 turnover, 19 points. I would say he missed some shots that he would probably normally hit. And maybe it's just him getting used to, playing against this type of defense, the switching defense. This is probably close to what the Grizzlies are going to see deeper into the playoffs, especially against a team like the Clippers. The Clippers will have this same kind of defense, and their perimeter guys are a little bit bigger at some points. And, we'll see. That's another team that's kind of a measuring stick defensively, even though their offense is not as good as the Boston Celtics. So all in all, I would say the Grizzlies had 2 sore points in this game, and that would be Xavier Tillman and David Roddy, who both did not look ready for this type of game. David Roddy is having a lot of problems staying in front of any matchup that can take him off the dribble, and that is aggressive in taking him off the dribble. So that's something that he has to shore up. But as the Grizzlies get healthy, I don't think he'll be in the rotation at all, because you got to remember, you got Xavier Tillman and David Roddy, Jake LaRavia, and Santi Aldama in the rotation in that game. And we have 3 rotation guys out. So 3 of those 4 are going to be out of the rotation permanently when we are fully healthy, and in the playoffs, maybe even all 4 of those guys will be out of the rotation. The one thing I will say about Jake LaRavia is he looks like he belongs even at this level. He looks like he is a very good backup. His defense holds up even against the wings and guards of the Boston Celtics, which bodes well. His shot is legit. 2 of 4 from three-point line again. 6 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, only 1 turnover. He does have problems beating guys off the dribble, but as we remember with Bane, his rookie year, he also had this problem. So I expect the Jake LaRavia to get the Desmond Bane, Zaire Williams treatment in the Summer League next year, and getting some on-ball reps to increase his ability to handle the ball, come off screens, and do that kind of thing with his shot. Like I said, we're at year 1 of Jake LaRavia, and year 1 looks real good for Jake LaRavia as far as being a rotation player. He is somebody that I really like his game. Now, Santi Aldama struggled in this game. 8 points, 1 rebound, 0 assists, 0 steals, 0 blocks, 3 of 7 from the field. Wasn't able to take advantage of the smaller matchups. I think the Grizzlies deploying him against Marcus Smart was kind of a mistake. I don't think he's ready for that kind of defensive matchup. But this might be a portion of what they're going to do with their defense when Jaren gets back, and Jaren can kind of handle that situation a little bit. But, we'll see. It's a long season, a lot of adjustments, a lot of different matchups to face over the next, 70-odd games in this season. Brandon Clark got the start for Steven Adams, played pretty well, 10 points, 8 rebounds. His defensive rotations was kind of lacking also. So that just lets you know that when you stretch Brandon Clark's minutes, you start to notice some warts in his game. Dillon Brooks had a very subpar game, shot more times than Desmond Bane, and every time I see that, every time he takes more shots than Desmond Bane, I know he has failed in that game. I don't care what the plus minus, or his plus minus is going to be good because he's locked in with Ja Morant a lot of the times. He had fouled out of the game, 13 points on 17 shots, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks. But he did some of the most insane finishing attempts that I see. I never see real NBA players finish like he does, with all this loop-de-loop stuff that he does at the rim. Instead of just going to the rim and finishing strong, he does all this wild, soft stuff that to try to keep getting his shot blocked because he has short arms, that he misses a lot of easy lay-ins at the rim when he needs to just go strong, maybe even take a power dribble or a power step and just go up at the rim and either get fouled or just get your shot blocked, because the crazy finishes does not work. And anytime I see him start to deal and pull the ball out and start to try to isolate on somebody, I know that 7 out of 10 times it's going to end up in a turnover, missed shot, or some drive to nowhere at the rim. So other than that, everybody else was played as advertised. John Conchar had a real good game, 12 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 4-7 from the three-point line. Real good game from John Conchar. He's another guy that really looks like he belongs in a rotation. So when Jaren gets back, it's going to be when Jaren and Zaire gets back, it's going to be real interesting to see. I know Tillman's going to fall out the rotation, but it's going to be real interesting to see who makes it in between Jake LaRavia and Santi Aldama. and I think it could be situational. I like Jake LaRavio's game just a little bit more. His three-point shooting is more of a threat. His size and physicality is more of a threat, and his defense is a little better, although Santi Aldama does add the element of rim protection. So we have the Spurs tomorrow. Everybody was off for voting today. Spurs tomorrow need to get that win, need to move to 8-4, need to start trying to secure the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. That should be on everybody's mind for the Grizzlies, securing the number 1 seed for the Western Conference, to have home court advantage throughout the playoffs, at least in the West. Until tomorrow, peace.